This is going to be a very different kind of video because being jealous of other writers is sort of just writers' room talks. It's what other writers talk about when they have a moment in the room. It's sort of that sort of writers' conversation. Like, what is a show you wish you wrote? What is a character you wish you wrote? What is a book you wish you wrote? Those are writers' room talks. So I'm going to let you guys into the writers' room. It's a part of getting to know you. It's less what school did you go to and more what movie traumatized you. Welcome to my channel. I'm Naomi G Davis, and I am jealous of these 10 characters that I wish that I wrote. I got to do some pretty cool things on shows like Splinter Cell and The Endgame. I got to create backstories. I got to create villains. But the one cool thing that I have to say is there's so many characters that I wish I wrote. There are characters that I wish were mine. There are characters I wish I could take full credit for, but I can't. So these are the 10 characters I wish I wrote. What I love about My Beautiful Men is that it really uses everything we know about high school television shows against us. Everything we know about the popular kid and the unpopular kid, we have all these ideas about them. We've learned everything we need to know about them. We've seen them before. And so when Kyoyi and the other kids are like calling him a stalker and they're calling him creepy, we're like, screw these kids, okay? We're like, whatever. And then the POV switches. Then we leave Hira's POV and we're in Kyoyi's POV. And from Kyoyi's POV, we learn Hira is a stalker. Hira is creepy. Like, the things that we know about Kyoyi in this first season is because Hira is stalking him. Like, full out following him around, stalking him. Hira is the entire problem. Because when I rewatch the show, I see Kyoyi as a teenage boy who's never been in love before and is figuring himself out. And the boy who's supposed to be there to help him figure it out is being weird. He's being creepy. He's obsessed in a way that's not safe. It is not healthy. I would never let my friends date him. He's the problem. He makes Kyoyi feel terrible about himself. Can you imagine the guy you're dating telling you that he never wants to understand you?
俺とケイは1ミリも交差してないんだよ。同一線上にもないし次元が違うし。
Hira.
だからこそ星は一層輝くんだよ。逆に触れようとか理解しようとかそういうのは全部自分のレベルの星を引きずり落とすってことなんだよ。だから
Hira.
何が言いたいのかっていうと、つまり俺は清よ。
Come on, stop it.
分かりたくない。
Hira doesn't believe he deserves to be loved. To him, love is supposed to be unrequited, something you admire from a distance. He thinks of himself as a pebble and Kyoyi as a god. His self-esteem is so low that worship feels safer than being wanted. But Kyoyi refuses to stay on a pedestal. He keeps reaching down, insisting that Hira belongs beside him, not beneath him. And that's what makes their story beautiful. It's not about obsession winning. It's about worth being restored. I shouldn't like Day. He's toxic and abusive. And yet, he's one of my favorite BL characters. Maybe I'm toxic. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's me. Day is all the bad things that I just love watching. He's a total red flag. I get that. He's abusive. I get that. But the thing that I like about his character is he wakes up with amnesia. And the only thing that he knows about his life in the last 3 years that he can't remember is that it is his boyfriend. It's the only thing he knows. It's literally the only truth about who he is right now that he knows. And because of that, he becomes possessive and crazy over it. It disappears. He's choking people. He's doing all manners of things. Because what he knows is that it is his. And because he knows that, he just runs amok. He just runs amok the whole time. Day. Hitting people. Hitting it. All the things. Day. Day wakes up to a love story he can't remember. Everyone tells him it is his boyfriend, tells him that they were happy. But we've seen enough of their past to know that Day made it dependent on him, and he liked it that way. When he wakes up with amnesia, that same dependence annoys him, but it's also familiar, even comforting. It is hot, devoted, and constant. So Day convinces himself that if he holds on to it, he might get all memories back. He isn't chasing love, he's chasing identity. He's in love with the hope that it might make him whole. The thing about Boston that I love the most is that he is a character that is the inciting incident. He's the hero, he's the antagonist, he's everything. He's a romantic lead, he's a romantic rival, he's the one who manipulates situations and gets with people he shouldn't get with and betrays his friends and betrays everything about him because he's just trying to live his life what he thinks is truthfully, but really he's kind of just a slut. Boston wasn't looking for love, and when it finds him, he doesn't know what to do with it. He wants to change, but he can't. So instead, he wants the man he loves to change, to accept him exactly as he is. Promiscuous, reckless, unfaithful, but honest about it. By the end of Only Friends, Boston loses the one thing he didn't realize he wanted all along: love. And that's what makes him tragic. He finally tells the truth, just too late.
งั้นวันหลังมึงก็ใช้ระวังหน่อยดิของบางอย่างมันเปลี่ยนไม่ได้นะเว้ย
I know that I love him because there's another character in that show who I hate. Boeing. I hate Boeing. Everything that I love about Boston, I hate in Boeing. It's probably not fair, but that's just how it is. I hate Boeing. Vegas, my broken, abusive lamb. To have a list like this and not include Vegas is sort of unimaginable to me. Because Vegas is the kind of character where everything you think you know about him, everything you think you understand, you don't really. You don't know that he's this boy who's been broken and beaten down by his father. You don't know that he feels embarrassed about the things that he likes. So when you put it all together and you get to see that he's just putting on a show, all the time where he's going after Porsche and he's annoying Ken, Vegas is putting on a show. That's why when it becomes just Vegas and just Pete, the real life comes out. And unfortunately, that life is dark and abusive and torture and everything turned into a love story that shouldn't work. We shouldn't like Vegas and Pete, but Vegas and Pete are probably the most important couple for me when it comes to Ken Porsche. Can't help it. The two of them are just a surprise. I didn't see it coming, but when it did, it just made sense. It fit. And when you rewatch the show and you see their interactions before it all goes down, it's very fun because you know what's about to happen. You know it's about to be the two of them, and it's just Vegas and Pete. Vegas is fascinating because he grows up in the second most powerful family, raised by an abusive father consumed by jealousy for his older brother. Vegas learns early that love and pain come from the same hand. When Pete leans into both Vegas' toxicity and his kinks, something shifts. Vegas begins to soften. He starts to reimagine his life built on love instead of pain, power replaced by peace. He's still broken, but finally, he's breaking open. Not only is he strong and rich and smart and believes in the guy that he loves, and he's a great partner, I have never seen something so beautiful. I can never remember a time when a character took care of another one so beautifully and so completely without desire and without wanting anything back and just being there for him. It's just beautiful. I didn't expect that when I was watching the show. It's not just love. It is the purest and most beautiful love I've ever seen. You know they're gonna fall in love. Why else are we watching this if they're not gonna fall in love, right? But when you watch the show and who they are as people in the beginning of the show and who they are at the end of the show, it is such beautiful characterization. It's such beautiful character development. And they do it in those 24 episodes, and it is brilliant. I think that Revenge Love is one of the best written shows that we've ever seen. But I am going to do my Act 3 video because I do have notes. Chi Chang is dominance personified. By the second act of Revenge Love, it's clear he isn't just commanding, he's living the BDSM lifestyle. He begins as a villain, terrifying and reckless, fighting snakes in illegal rings and drowning in heartbreak over his ex's betrayal. But loving Wei Wei pulls him into the light. He learns that control can also mean care, that strength can be gentle. By the end, he becomes one of the most supportive, loving characters I've ever seen. The thing about Chen Yi and ID that I think really works is that Chen Yi, he missed it. He missed it all those years, them being by each other's side, all those years of him worried about ID and all those things. He doesn't understand what it is. He missed it. He missed that he's in love with someone else. And because he missed it, he works hard for the rest of the show. From the minute ID is released from prison, Chen Yi is like, I am all about you. I want to be together. Why did this happen? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our relationship. Let's talk about our feelings. Let's talk about why you did what you did. And ID is like, it's too late. Let's not talk about it. Let's move on. And Chen Yi can't move on because now he knows. He loves ID. ID was patient for a very long time. ID waited for Chen Yi for a very long time. He is owed being pursued and being wanted by the guy that he's been pursuing and wanting all the time. The whole celebrating the birthday by himself all that time because Chen Yi was out trying to chase his benefactor. Heartbreaking. And that's something about Chen Yi that I really enjoy because he knows. He knows it's heartbreaking. He knows he messed up. He knows he has a lot to make up for, and he's gonna do it. I really love the final scene with them, where ID is like, okay, no matter what happens, let me die first. Because if you die first, I'm gonna be crazy. And Chen Yi's like, don't you think I'll be crazy too? And ID's like, no, you're more level-headed than me. That's one of my favorite conversations because it's like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna die first. You guys are in your 20s. Stop being in a gang.
先说好，你不能比我早死，光想到就受不了。如果你真是死的话，我一定会发疯，然后不知道做出什么事情。说好，就算你快挂，也要等我先挂，你才能挂。哎，陈毅，说好哦。
1秒，什么？只让你1秒，我随后跟上。
Chen Yi doesn't learn what love costs. He learns what love is. He thinks he's in love with his boss, the caretaker who raised him. But one kiss and one night with ID turns everything upside down. Once he realizes he's truly in love, he spends the rest of the series trying to prove it. That his feelings are legitimate. That his devotion is real. He was blind for too long, and now he throws himself into making it right. Chen Yi doesn't understand love, not really. But he's willing to try anything, risk anything, to hold on to it. He's a fool in love, and that's what makes him unforgettable. I don't care how many Mafia BLs come out, there will always be only one. History 3 Trapped. It will always be the beginning, it will always be the first. It will always be the show that because it was so successful, other writers knew that they could write their mafiosos, their mob bosses, and all these weird situations that we get. These mob guys in Kin Porsche, in Unforgotten Night, in My Dear Gangster Oppa. All of these things wouldn't exist if we didn't have History 3 Trapped. Tang Yi grew up an orphan, raised by a man who would turn him into a gangster. When that adopted father is murdered, he devotes his life to avenging the only person who ever loved him. In the middle of that revenge, he meets the perfect man, who's completely wrong for him, a cop. Tangy walks into danger with his heart first. He's the godfather who bleeds in private. The genius of his writing is that power and vulnerability are inseparable. He loves like he fights, all in. Every later Kamal or Kin archetype traces back to him, the man who weaponizes devotion and calls it duty. Stories have miscommunication. Why else would we be watching if everyone communicated beautifully? But I've never seen such terrible miscommunication as You Are Mine. I really liked the lens that the show gave it, which was he never learned how, and I found that very interesting because we do absorb so much from the people around us, especially when we're growing up. We absorb how to react, how to be, how to love. And if no one ever showed him, how is he supposed to do it? And he makes a mess of it. I'm trying to think of someone who is dumber in love than the general manager. I can't think of anyone. He's like, oh, am I not showing him a sign? Baby. The general manager is honest to a fault. Well, until he panics. Then he'll do anything, legal or not, to keep the man he loves by his side. He's a walking HR violation wrapped in sincerity. Dumb love isn't stupidity. It's devotion that forgets logic. He's the fool every romance needs. Reckless, relentless, and somehow always forgiven. Also, I really liked the bonus final episode. I really liked that they came back to it. And something I found interesting was that their hair is completely different in the final comeback episode. And I really enjoyed it because it kind of felt like they are so happy they're being themselves and they're looking the way they want to look because they're so comfortable and open and supported by their partner. So I really like that. It was like a nice VIP only. He looked completely different and I couldn't watch it. So that was like a plus. The fact that they looked different, but it felt like it was a part of their journey. It felt like it was a part of their story. The main couples both meet at the illegal drag race, and I think oh, okay, so they're gonna basically have the same stories. Wrong. Very, very wrong. Because these are two different completely guys. They're different. Their love story is different. And I really enjoyed that. I love that you could be 8 episodes in and then get a completely new love story. And I really liked Pi because he was consistent. He was consistent in a time where I don't know if a non-Bale character could have been consistent. I don't know if all the hoops that Sky makes him jump through just to prove that he's interested, just to prove that he's for real. Don't know if many of us would have gone back. We wouldn't have gone back for more, would we? I just don't think so. Pi is every fantasy written into flesh. Rich, reckless, a CEO who rides motorcycles like he's running from gravity. But once he falls for Sky, he becomes something rare, the fantasy that chooses to be real. He trades power for presence. He cleans Sky's apartment, helps with homework, holds him through panic, and refuses to let him run from love. Every time Sky asks why me, Pi answers by showing up. He's proof that the right man doesn't just exist, he insists.
น้องตะการที่พี่รักไม่ใช่ของน้องไม่ไม่ลอง
I can't lie. Secret Crush on You is one of the first live action BLs I tried when I began my journey in the genre, and I hated it. I turned it off after the first couple of scenes. I was like, these characters are annoying. This story is annoying. So I turned it off and didn't watch it for 3-4 years. And I finally put it on, and I'm so glad, because when I put it on, I was like, you know what? I understand more about live action BL than I did when I first watched the show. I understand more about the worlds that we lived in, the tropes, the characters, the things that we go through in these shows. And so I put this show back on, thinking like, well, it'll just be in the background. Like, if it's not good again, I won't care. And I loved it. I went from, my God, these are the most annoying characters I've ever seen, to these are the best friends I have ever seen. The way that they just have each other's back, the way that they support each other's insanity. Like, Sam's the unsung hero of BL. The woman who isn't competition, who sees both leads clearly and wants them to win. She's empathy without envy, grounding without judgment. But when her transgender friend begins to question their identity, Sam doesn't panic or preach. She gathers their circle and leads a friend intervention built on love, support, and honesty. She's there for Daisy however she needs it. That's how I love her. Sam reminds us that friendship can be just as radical, just as transformative as love itself. Because when Daisy decides to be Day, because she is worried that she's a little bit too feminine for the guy she's seeing, I really love that Sam was like, girl, you are a transgender woman. This is not something that can come and go easily. This is something about you that is real. This is something about you that we have accepted and that we love and that we don't want you to change. And if he wants you to change, he's not the guy for you. I just felt like that was really great friending, and like really good taking care of your friends. And like, I just wanted all the best for Sam. I want her to have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever she wants in her life. I want her to have everything. Because when you have a friend like Sam who's got your back so completely and is going to be who you need her to be, that is something that you shouldn't give away. That's special. Sam as a character, and I think all the characters in Secret Crush on You are actually special, because you think you're going to get this little comedy with these annoying characters who are running around, and instead you get friendship personified. You get like, this is the reason we do what we do, because we want to be friends, and we want to be these kind of friends, and we want these kind of friends. It's really interesting. It's something about the show that I really enjoyed. This has been the BL Script Desk. I'm Naomi G Davis, and watch the wonderful moment where Daisy comes back.
Daisy กลับมาแล้วค่ะ